Quick and dirty passage planning. Here's some tips.
Sailing Virgins, yeah.
Hi, I'm James from Sailing Virgins. We're here on a course in Starigrad, which is on the Dalmatian coast in Croatia. Absolutely beautiful, all these old stony walled buildings and all the rest of it. And I thought it's a really good opportunity to share with you tips and tricks on passage planning. What even is passage planning? Well, it's really making sure that you know where you're going and you're sort of prepared for it. And a lot of people don't do it and they get themselves in trouble. Some people overdo it and they spend so long doing a passage planning that all the joy gets taken out of the actual sailing. So there's some really good tips and tricks that I want to share with you that you can pretty much every time you go sailing, you can put a passage plan together. So there's really 4 components to a passage plan. There's the out, the across, the in, and then the mooring or anchoring type that you're doing. So let's look at out to start with. You've got to look at where you are when you're going out and find out what it is that you need to look out for. So you might have to double down on your charts, zoom in on navionics or whatever it might be, and do a good visual. And sometimes the out component is simply doing a visual and getting clear with how you're going to get out of a marina, or in this case, a little harbour, or whatever it might be. So that's the out. And that usually takes you sort of outside the harbour. So then you're on the across section, and that's where you usually get navionics or your paper charts or something like that, and you'll work out a route. And a lot of the time, it's something as simple as keeping the island to your right or keeping the island to your left, right? So it's like, it doesn't need to be hardcore bearings and all the rest of it. Sometimes it does, but the bulk of the time it doesn't, right? You might have one stretch where it needs a bearing, and that's cool. But most of the time it can be visual, keeping islands to your right or to your left or whatever it might be. So it's quick and it's dirty, but it gets the job done, right? And so then there's the in component. Are you going to go in a channel, or how are you going to actually get in towards the harbour or the bay or wherever you're going? Sometimes the in is really simple, but sometimes it is a channel and you've got to find the outside channel marker, and you really would benefit from thinking about it and planning it beforehand. And then there's the mooring. What sort of mooring are you going to do? You're going to do a med moor? Are you going to anchor? Are you going to pick up a ball? Typically that's something that you can look at Navily, one of those apps, or you can look at Navionics, also has Active Captain, but it's not as good as Navily in that sense. Or you can go the cruising guides for the island. So there's usually cruising guides for where you want to go, and you can do that little research. If you forget, and we've all forgotten at one stage, and come into a port and we don't know what to do, a pro tip is go to the fuel dock and just tie up at the fuel dock and buy some ice or something like that. You know, you might not even need to fill up, but at least that gets you to stop your boat and you can ask a local and say, what's the deal here? Okay, so that's your get out of jail card. But really, if you do that out, across, in and mooring, then you'll really cover what you really need to do for most of passage planning. And of course, then it's things like weather and your crew. So there's other elements that you need to consider, but navigation-wise, passage plan, you'll sort it out in that one. So anyway, hope that helps. Have a great day and see you out on the water. See ya. Oh, so we've just sat down to dinner, but one more thing. If you actually want to do a proper passage plan, then we do have an episode on that. We'll link to that. But for quick and dirty, for kind of everyday sort of stuff, then I hope this really helped. So anyway, cheers. Enjoy. All right.
I'm going to the country. Get a little lonely in my mind, feeling kind of funky. Need to find peace among the pines. No, I'm not a junkie, but I get high from time to time.
We're at a beautiful bay right now. We actually don't even know the name. We slept over at a beautiful bay that's We spent the night at a beautiful we spent the night at a beautiful we spent a night at this beautiful bay last night.
Going to the country, pull my head down off the shelf. Need a little something that I can hold on to myself. Hear a little thunder, I guess it's time we build